Ensuring quality higher education is one of the most important things that we can do for future generations. The cost of education has increased rapidly over the last 40 years, becoming an unattainable luxury for the average American. While higher education is necessary for the stimulation of societal advancements and growth, the rising costs of higher education are causing a crippling effect on our nation's economy. If you draw your attention to the screen, this is my wife's repayment plan from Greater Lakes Borrower Services, also known as her federal student loans. She owes $62,672. The payment climbs by an average of $10 a year until the payment is a whopping $596 a month by the year 2041. She will be paying nearly double the initial borrowed principal amount. By the end, she would have paid nearly $116,125. The green right here is the actual interest on the account. The interest will be $53,453. Her initial principal is $62,672. When my wife graduated with her bachelor's degree in May of 2016, she was prompted to start paying back this principal. She will be paying nearly double the average debt of a graduate with a bachelor's degree. According to the official report by the Domestic Policy Council and the Council of Economic Advisors, 71% of those who graduate with a bachelor's degree will have an average debt of $29,400 by the cause of student loans. Student loans are the second leading cause of debt for the average American, which is a total of $1.2 trillion. Looking back at the history of rising higher education costs, we can analyze how the individual effects on those with student debt impacts the larger picture of economic development. The history of rising higher education costs and the beginning of a college epidemic and the turning point of affordable education. A bill in 1944, known as the GI Bill, encouraged servicemen coming back from World War II to attend college. The GI Bill was a big success that resulted in the enrollment of just under 8 million servicemen into college. This started a college movement that would last for decades to come. During this time, the federal government began helping families pay for college through the National Defense Student Loan Program, which is later known as the Federal Perkins Loan. This sparked a movement that would soon after help civilians the same way it did help veterans, making college even more accessible. But in 1970, it marked a turning point in college affordability when embargoes and a sputtering economy caused tuition and fees to skyrocket. Federal grants soon became replaced with private and federal loans. Present costs of higher education. Staggering increases in higher education costs and diminishing grant funding, it forces students to seek alternative funding sources. According to Travis Mitchell, as in the graph shown, the average growth of tuition and fees from ranked schools from 1995 to 2015. Between these dates, in-state tuition and fees at public national universities increased by a whopping 296%. Main funding of these sources shifted from grants to loans, and in 1975, the maximum BEOG grant was $4,000, but in 1997, it was only $2,700 per semester. As a result, private institutions had to make up the differences. Student loans and a deficit crippling the economy. A student loan debt is preventing Americans from being able to reach adult milestones, such as buying houses, buying cars, even trying to save for retirement. College is more necessary to compete in the workforce, but costs continue to increase while wages for graduates remain stagnant. The increased costs of higher education have become too expensive for the average American. With dwindling resources and grants available, students are forced to take out loans to be able to compete in the workforce, resulting in today's staggering student loan debt. Education was once a luxury only the rich could access. Our nation works so hard to be able to make college accessible to the average American, but as college has become a more major pressing requirement to succeed in today's workforce, costs are growing to the point where education is once again reverting into a luxury for the rich, or a heavy weight that bears on the shoulders of the average college graduate. In a recent speech, President-elect Donald Trump outlined his plan to tackle student loan debt. Trump said, I quote, "We would cap repayment for an affordable portion of the borrower's income at 12.5%. We'd cap it. That gives you a lot to play with and a lot to do." Trump also said at a rally in Columbus, Ohio, "And if borrowers work hard and make their full payment for 15 years, we'll let them get on with their lives." And they just go ahead and they get on with their lives. Thank you.